Megan Hicks of I Run Far, and I'm here on the island of La Palma in Spain's Canary Islands before the 2015 Transvulcania Ultramarathon. I'm here with South African Landie Greyling. How's it going?
Yeah, I'm really happy to be on the island of La Palma. It's been treating me well so far, relaxing in the pool and getting some nice rest in, so that's good before the race.
Yeah, you guys are set up in a pretty nice spot here.
Yeah, I think we're pretty spoiled. I mean, you can't ask for much more than this. There's about 7 or 8 different pools to choose from, and you've got the beaches and the cliffs right there, and the food's great. So no, we're really blessed.
Now, I mean, it's just up the African coastline, several thousand kilometers from your home to here. Is this your first time to the Canary Islands?
Yes, it is actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think so far? I mean, it's really different from South Africa, right?
Yeah, the landscape obviously is really different. Lots of black, gnarly rocks, which we're not used to,
Yeah.
and obviously palm trees and island life. So it's very different. The weather's been great so far. I mean, it's not as hot as I expected it to be. So I've no idea what it's going to be like on Saturday.
Yeah,
but
knock on wood for this weekend.
Yeah, I've been hearing some rumors that it can get quite hot, especially on the other side of the island, and that's when you sort of the latter part of the race, so that could be quite interesting. But luckily in South Africa we're used to quite warm weather, so hopefully that will be okay.
Yeah, maybe this will actually feel not so warm compared to South African summers.
Yeah, no, we get, especially in the town where I live, it can get up to 40 degrees, so sometimes it's really hot, and if you have to train in that, it's not always as much fun as you would like it to be.
Well, let's talk about your background and where you come from and where you live. You're I don't know, an up-and-comer on the international trail racing scene. I understand you're an accountant back home.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about your background, how you got into mountain running and what you do when you're not running.
Well, I started actually out as adventure racing.
Okay.
Sort of doing everything, mountain biking, hiking, abseiling, canoeing, and then I just sort of realized that I enjoy the running part more than the rest of it, and I did a couple of trial races. It was pretty new in South Africa in like 2010-11, and I just got into a few races, and the results were pretty good, and I enjoyed it very much. I grew up on a farm, and we had lots of like farm trails and things, so I always liked to explore and just be outdoors, and love hiking and being out in the mountains. So I think that's one of the things why I decided to take up with the trail running, and then I'm also quite competitive, so that helped to sort of try and push and do the best I can. And I started out with Salem in South Africa 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, and my first international season was last year. Started out with Zagama, which was quite a interesting opener, to say the least.
That was probably a really fascinating eye-opener. But you did well there. You snuck inside the top 10.
Yeah, I just snuck inside the top 10, which was like, it felt like I was on top of the world, and it wasn't even that good. But for me, my first international race, it was really awesome experience, and obviously the vibes there and the atmosphere is amazing. So
unreal, right?
Yeah, it was. I couldn't believe like thousands of people cheering you on, and it feels like you're on some red carpet. It's amazing. It was really that helped me to push through the race, and it was an amazing experience to realize that this is what I want to do, and the energy and the people that you meet in the trail running circles was just amazing, and I realized this is where I belong, and I want to be part of this family. So.
Well, it sounds like you're sort of taking to the skyrunning circuit for this year. You've just competed in about a month ago, the Buffalo Stampede in Australia, which was the Oceania Skyrunning Continental Championships.
Yes.
So that earned you some points for the ultra part of the Skyrunning World Series. Did I get all that verbiage right? Maybe.
Yeah, the language sounds pretty much accurate. I'm also still new to it, so I think we're in the same boat there. So, but yeah, I think I'm going to try and do the ultra Skyrunning series this year. As you've mentioned, I've got points for the continental race, and this will be the first international one for me. And then from there on, I'll try and do 2 more to just sort of get the 3 plus the 1. And it depends obviously on how each one goes, but that is the big plan.
Yeah. So talk about your race for a moment at the Buffalo Stampede. You had a really strong day and came out in the end ahead of some of the fastest girls from New Zealand and Australia. So talk about your day for a minute.
Yeah, I think it was one of those days that everything just sort of worked out as you hope it would work out, and it never normally does on an ultra. There's always patches where, like, not that I have done that many, but there's always a patch where you feel, oh, this is terrible, an hour or two where your body, your nutrition, something is not feeling right. But for that race, everything just sort of seemed to work out, and I really just had a very good day, and it was lots of fun, and I enjoyed it. And I think that's also one of the key things. If you really enjoy the running and what you're doing, then it makes it a little bit easier on the longer ones.
Okay.
Yeah, so all in all, I think I just had a good race, and I really had a great experience in Australia.
And so coming off of that, which is just a great way to start a racing season, how you translate that energy and those good feelings into this race, which is a lot different.
Yeah, I mean, a win like that it gives you a lot of confidence, but I'm obviously very much aware of the fact that this is a very good international field that I'll be lining up against some of the best in the world, which is really great for me because I want to sort of race against the best, but it will be my biggest race to date. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how it will go and how my legs will be after the Buffalo, because it was only 3.5 weeks ago. Yeah. So hopefully I've recovered from that, and it really will be a great way for me to see where I'm in the international field. And
you kind of have that sparkle in your eye, like you can see that you're a competitor. Like, you know, you said you like to compete, and you can kind of just see that in your eyes. How are you going to balance that side of you with tempering, well, this is a really long race, I climb a huge volcano and I have to come back off it again, and there's a lot of other fast girls. How do you sort of temper those dueling factors?
Yeah, I think I'm one of those people that can sort of I have like a vision of the entire race, and I like to sort of picture things, and especially for this race, my plan or strategy, if you can call it that, will just be to sort of run my own race, and I've done that in the last 3 or 4 races that I've done, and it's worked for me. Like initially when I was really like just starting out, I just sort of ran with everyone, and you don't know where you're at, so it's hard to sort of pace yourself. But once you get to know your running style and your abilities and your strengths and weaknesses, I think it's better just to plan your race according to that, rather than saying, okay, just go out with the girls and see how long you can stick with them, and sort of take it each kilometer at a time, which could be a long day out if you do that. So I think I'll really try and start out steadily and just watch myself and see how my body reacts to the uphills, to the downhills, to the terrain, which is quite different from what I'm used to. So I'll be very wary about what's going on with my body, and I'll try and listen to that.
And what are exactly your strengths in this type of race? Where are we going to see you excel the most some weekend?
Oh, it's difficult to say, but I really like downhills.
Okay.
I like sort of technical terrain, and we have a lot of that in South Africa. We don't have that big mountain, so I wouldn't say I'm yet a very strong climber over long climbs. Maybe shorter climbs is fine, but longer climbs I might not be as good as the European girls. I haven't really measured, but last year I could see that I'm stronger on the downhills than on the uphills. That's the only sort of measurement I have, but I enjoy downhill running, and I enjoy just running as well.
Well, this could be a decent format race for you then, given that there's such a long downhill in the second half of the race. If you're able to get there in decent shape. Yeah, all in one piece, right?
Yeah, that's the condition, I suppose. If you can get there in one piece and not get overexcited in the first half of the race, that will be ideal. That's sort of the plan.
Yeah. Well, good luck to you out there. And my last question for you is after this race, what is your indulgence? What are you looking forward to doing I finished Transvulcania?
I might just have a cocktail or a chocolate milkshake on the deck and just sort of relish the experience of living the island style, because at the moment you're sort of thinking, oh, I can't do this, I can't do this, like watch everything. But it's so nice to just actually relax in this atmosphere and the surroundings. Everyone around you is on holiday and they're not like stressing about some big race. So I think it will be pretty nice because I've got about 3 days after the race here at the hotel. So it will be nice to just enjoy all the facilities.
All of the facilities.
All of the facilities, which is quite a bit, I would say.
Well, best of luck to you out there, and we look forward to seeing how your day goes.
Thanks, Megan. It was lovely chatting to you.
Thanks again.
Cheers.